Hello, this is Phoenix for Holistic Transformation, and today I wanted to talk to you about returns and half returns in astrology. Returns in astrology are where the planet placement returns in the sign where it was originally when you were born. So you look at your natal chart and you see the position, say Mars is in Scorpio. Then when Mars returns to Scorpio, which is about 2 years, it's returned to the same point, and that's the return. And the half return is the halfway point, which would be about a year. All these things are effectively, they're not exact because we have retrograde periods, and we don't actually include in the conversation Moon, Mercury, Mars and Venus anyway, because they happen too quick. For the same reason, if not being relevant, we don't include Pluto and Neptune. This is because they take so long to go around. You'd have to be 124 or so for the Pluto half return and 248 for Pluto return, and you would be 160 something if you were experiencing the Neptune return, and 80 odd when you get the half return. So the half return could be of note, but we don't really consider it. What we do consider are the three main ones that really affect, and the reason that we look at these is because they can have a real effect, a real challenge that they bring us at different times of our lives, because they can turn up at poignant moments. So the three planets are Jupiter, Saturn and Uranus. So if we start with Jupiter's return happens every 12 years, so the half return is half of that. So we're looking at our 12th birthday: 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, and half returns at those halfway points. What we find with the Jupiter return, which also coincides with the journey around the Chinese zodiac, which takes 12 years to go around for one animal, although the elements differ, which is why it goes up to 60. You get like a 60-year branch for Chinese astrology. But you have these 12th year points, and they're considered generally lucky. Jupiter is lucky, it's favourable, and your 12th, 24th, 36th, 48th, 60th birthday, they are seen as good growth opportunities. The half returns, on the other hand, can be a bit of an awkward influence. Saturn happens every 29 to 30 years, and the half return is like 14 and a half, 15, 43, 44, around those times. And the second full return of Saturn happens at 60. So we have kind of life-changing events that often occur at this point, because Saturn brings in it's like reality and responsibility check to us all. Saturn being the ruler of rules, boundaries, laws, regulations, the authority. And when it comes into its return phase, it challenges you and checks where you are, and it can bring up a conflict where you suddenly find that you're in the wrong place and you need to change direction, or your commitments are going to change. This is why they say people sometimes are settling down around about 29, 30. You've got to settle down, have kids, whatnot, or get a home, or get a dog, or something that you didn't have before. And it's this is really important to me at this point. And that's kind of like at 29 to 30. However, that also coincides with, especially at 30, it can coincide with the unlucky half return of Jupiter. So swings and roundabouts for that. Saturn's half returns can be, they arrive at quite harsh moments. 14, 15 years old, we're going through, we're growing, there are all sorts of changes going on in our body and in our minds, and realities beginning to open up, so it becomes a big challenge there. The second Saturn half return happens around 43, 44, which coincides with two other events of Jupiter and one of Uranus. And it becomes potentially the biggest, most crucial time of your life. Meanwhile, Saturn's second full return happens at 60, which is when our commitments and our challenges can change again. We can be looking at potentially being grandparents or having different responsibilities, or that we need to stop the job that we've been doing for some point and we need to kind of settle down into something else as we're kind of winding down that working phase. Not that this government wants us to do it to, like, our 70s or anything, but as the astrology guides go, the second Saturn return is seen as another big moment of change. Uranus, the third one, that actually takes 84 years to complete its cycle. And at the age 84, it's kind of like a reawakening or a new life that Uranus brings. It's like you should, by that point, be settled and know who you are, really comfortable in yourself. And it's a new life opportunity coming to 84. The big one that affects most people, though, is the Uranus half return. And this happens around about 42 years of age. It's also known as the midlife crisis. This is where things can kind of fall apart and you need to reassess everything, and the way that you react isn't necessarily the best way to react, which is why it's a midlife crisis. So you suddenly look around and you go, here I am, I've got 3 children and whatever, and I can't do this anymore. I need something else. I need a new challenge. I need to spend some money on me. I need to go on a cruise, or I need to buy the new fast car or motorbike, or I need to walk away from all those responsibilities that I signed up to earlier, because now I need a younger model to excite me, and so on. At this same point, this 42-year period, there or thereabouts, depending on the retrogrades, how long it actually takes to return, at the same point we've got a half return of Jupiter, and then at 43 and 44, 45, somewhere in that period, we have the Saturn half return. It's a big crisis to get through. It comes across as a big time, an opportunity of change and transformation, and to move forward with our lives. So if we were feeling a little bit stuck before, we can look for ways to go out of it. Now, being aware that the midlife crisis is kind of coming by virtue of these half returns coming together at this moment in time, being aware is the first part, because it's going to affect you in different ways. It depends on the planetary placement anyway. Different houses are going to affect you different ways. So it's something to be aware of. I'll leave a chart up at the end of this video so you can see the patterns that emerge, and you can just kind of have a look how things have affected you over time. So this is Phoenix signing off. Cheerio.